And then we had this kind of period coming off the Civil War of the boom. Lincoln was in the middle of there. And what happened is once we settled that, after 700,000 Americans died in that fight, we think it's bad now. I mean, 700,000 people died in this debate over that one. But you actually had a golden age. You had a great expansion, Transcontinental Railroad, Homestead Act. The American dream was born out of that whole period. So we had these tensions, these horrible politics leading up to that. And we had, new technologies like Bessemer steel for the railroads. Things happened, and then it also shifted. It even happened in the Revolution. If you really think of that as a reinvention of America or an invention of America, the old system was the colonial system dying. The new one was this new thing trying to be born. We basically had a boom coming off the Revolutionary War. George Washington was smack in the middle of it. And we did have a golden age. There was a huge expansion. All kinds of crazy stuff happened. Louisiana Purchase, all kinds of stuff. We had the same tensions in those 15 years. Boston Tea Party, Declaration of Independence. We had to have a war. So what I'm trying to say to you is we're in another one of those moments now. Now, the final little kicker I'm going to do here is the bigger way to think about this is we might even be in such profound change, the AI is such a profound change, that we might be closer to what happened in the Enlightenment. And that was the kind of roughly 1680 to 1800. But in that period of time, we came up with 6 crazy big inventions that the world is basically still defined by. We basically had mechanical engines, I mentioned that. We had carbon energies at scale. We had the Industrial Revolution around those steam engines. We had financial capitalism to keep it going. We had to invent that. That didn't happen before this. We had representative democracy. That was the American version of that, although the French tried a shot at that too. And we had nation states. These didn't exist before. And they are still the world we're all working in, but they're also screwing things up now, including climate change. So what happened in that period was you had the technologies came out in the first 40 years. That was the breakthrough. The economy morphed in the second 2 years, Industrial Revolution, all that scaling, financial capitalism. And ultimately, it was the political revolutions that came after that, French and American. What I'm kind of just planting the seed here, and we're going to explore it later in this series, is are we in something comparable? Are we in such a big change of fundamental tech changes that we're essentially now, just like those, we've got our absolute game changer, AI. That's like a civilizational scale reboot. But also, we're watching clean energies emerging out of energy. We may see some kind of biological engineering revolution out of industrial production. We may see, and this takes more open-ended, it's going to take a while, different kind of capitalism, more equitable, more better on the environment. We might see something supersede this goofy thing that we're still trapped in from 250 years ago. That's certainly not working. Trump's banging his head against it. And then even some kind of way to coordinate global governance. I don't know how this is going to work. I'm not just saying, but I'm saying there is something at the scale of that era that I think we have to at least open ourselves up to. And I think we've seen the tech come. I just laid out to you. There's probably going to be the economics. And ultimately, it might take a while for the politics. But you are here. Out of the pure tech game or into the innovate everything else game. And that's what I'm trying to get us technologists or people rooted in tech to be thinking big here.